Beautiful day, and we can only give thanks to the Almighty God for this privilege and this great opportunity. It's your one-stop TV station reaching for the stars, Galaxy Television, and its family and values. I hope your night was restful. If it's not, I'm sorry, but you can still keep it up. Sleep early so that I can wake up, early and meet up with activities. I am Olori AJ on this particular episode, and don't forget, my darling sister is here. She's looking charming.
Good morning. My name is Joy Abu. Thanks for joining us again this Wednesday morning. Hope the traffic is not that much. Hey, the Times are here. Please get yourself some warm tea early in the morning. Oh, Lori, how are you doing this morning?
I'm cool. The Amatan actually caught a little bit of me this morning. I have to start getting myself warmed up, and the dryness. Make sure you have some cream. Little tiny container of oily substance in your bath so that I can help.
This period just to keep our hands
and your lips too. So keep it balmed.
My father used to say, it's during Hamatan, the most beautiful women.
Yes,
that's when you know how neat they are. And so we grew up knowing that Hamatan is the time to take care of yourself, your ankles, your legs, and they say, let all those.
I love the fact that you mentioned your father. So each time you remember that he's a caring man and who knows how to nurture little things about family. So it's still family and values and Joy.
Yes. Before we go into this, let me talk about my father a little bit. My father had 6 girls and 2 boys. So you can imagine, and he grew up loving all of us. We're all daddy's girls. Me, for instance, my father, shout out to you, daddy. I'm expecting Christmas gifts from you. I'm still a baby. I've grown Christmas.
Imagine. No, you send yourself.
No, I still need it. That's why he's my father.
What do you want people like us who don't have one alive? What do you want us to do? You want us to be... But kudos to all fathers and all mothers out there. We love you. We appreciate all you've done, and we pray that you will live to see your children's children.
Amen. So yes, today's topic, we'll make sure the table is not broken. It's going to be in one piece because it's one topic that is very interesting but very educative. It's one topic we need to talk about. It's really eating deep into marriages, into relationships, and so really need to talk about it. Our guest is pretty seated. Don't worry, you will soon meet the elegant, beautiful guest we have for you this morning. But as usual, we are streaming across all our social media platforms. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can always watch us on the go. Go out to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our TikTok, all our social media platforms. Please turn on your notification button so when family and values is on, just like we are right now.
And our guest is all seated, like you all know. She's none other than Pastor Wisdom Chokora, and she's a relationship expert. I'll call her a counselor as well. She's the brain behind Esther Intercessory Ministry, and I tell you, she's been married for 32 years. So a pilot at that. So I think we have someone who can actually deal with this topic for us. Infidelity in relationship and marriages. How can we tackle this? What is infidelity? What are those things that actually show us the red flags when we talk about infidelity? We're here. Welcome, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. You're looking all beautiful this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cannot even see the Amatan on it's so good to have you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So much welcome to our program this morning.
Thank you.
Can you give us your own understanding of infidelity?
Well, infidelity for me, it's one not being faithful to his or her partner. Basically, that is it. Not being faithful.
Not being faithful.
Yes.
Okay. In the area of not being faithful in marriages, can we say infidelity is a norm? That's the way it is now. It's a norm. Can we say it's part of those things that's come to stay?
Yes, we could say that, but we can also work on it. It's not a norm for everybody, but though it has come to stay for some people, but it's not for everybody. We still have faithful families.
Joy.
Okay, I love the fact that you've been married for 32 years and you're married to a pilot, and we know that pilots don't stay in one place. Now, comparing then when you got married and now, would you say there is a high level of infidelity in marriages?
Yes, I think so. I think I should say that. Though I grew up from the north, so maybe we're not seeing it as infidelity. You know, over there you are allowed to marry more than one wife. So maybe growing up I didn't see it as infidelity, but after marriage and coming down to the south now, you see the wrongs in it, that it's not supposed to be. You see it's getting clearer. Maybe because over here we're used to one man, one wife.
So what can we say are those things that actually led to infidelity then and now?
The truth is trust and being genuine, being yourself. Many a times when you want to get into a relationship, maybe you tend to pretend because you want to get into that relationship. You are not being yourself. And then after getting into that relationship, what next? Your pretense will only last for a while. Your true self will still come out. And so when it comes out, you realize that probably those things that you saw initially that took you into that relationship are not really there. You were pretending, your spouse or your partner was also pretending. So at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail. And then when the truth comes out, you begin to try to find a way to cover it or to balance it. And I think that's what leads to infidelity, because maybe you for example, you feel this guy is up to do, you are looking after the financial part of, you know, the person, and then at the end of the day you discover that it was just a fake life, and you want to belong to a certain class. So before you know it, you begin to mix with, you know, the wrong set of people. And again, I talked about being genuine, being yourself. Maybe because of what the other party wants to get from you, he can pretend to be so loving. And after he has gotten what he wants, he comes out to become himself. And then you are there dying for, oh, this was not the person I met initially. He was all full of love, he was this, he was that. But after getting what he wants from you, he comes out to be his real self. The love is no longer there. That true nature you think was what dragged you to him is no longer there. Yes, so you begin to look for a way of filling in that love, that space, and
that's it.
That could be.
It's okay. In the feature we had, it was, you know, that mini feature said women cheat emotionally and men cheat sexually. But would you say that men cheat because when you look at statistically, though currently women are trying to beat up that initially men were on the high rate of cheating, but this generation we are seeing women matching up man to man with them. But when you look at it, would you say men cheat because they have this nurture that they are polygamous in nature? Because when you meet a man today and ask him, why are you cheating on your partner, he'll tell you, I can't eat one soup.
Yes.
They just feel like it's their nature. Do you think they cheat because they assume to be polygamous in nature?
Yes, I think basically they cheat because they assume that is their nature, but they can also control it. That's why you find that it's not all men that cheat. Yes,
it's not all.
It's not all men that cheat.
Okay, now looking at,
it's not because they don't want to cheat or they cannot cheat. You still see the traces, but then they have control over themselves. They just refuse to cheat.
Okay, so what are those state as in what are those things that can actually lead you to infidelity? There are traces that can lead you to infidelity. Mode of dressing, appearance, lack of love, lack of affection, either from the man or from the woman, from the marriages, when the wife is not concentrating on the husband and he goes to the office and he has someone who is always there. Have you had lunch? Have you done this? So, you know, what are those traces?
You mentioned some of them already. Some of, maybe I should just add one or two. For the women, maybe they want to, how do I put it now? They want a revenge.
A playback.
They want a revenge.
Yes.
A payback.
Yes, like you said, the women are matching up to the men now. Yes, they want to tell the men that what you think you can do, we can do better. We can equally do it. Some are cheating not because they want to cheat, not because they find joy cheating or they enjoy doing it, but they just want a revenge.
What if it's not a revenge sometimes? Sometimes, you know, women, we're very,
sometimes,
very sensitive,
I just said
and emotional.
One. You know, so it may not be revenge. It could also be maybe pain. They want to heal. They are hurting, so they just want to heal. And maybe the man is not there. Like I told you, my husband is a pilot, and he's always out of the country. Even when he's in the country, maybe he's having a night stop in Abuja somewhere, or you know, if you don't have your mind loaded with something, it's not going to be funny. Sometimes it's envy. Your friends could be envious of you, and then they will just kind of want to come in and kind of lie to you, make you believe what is not. I had a very, very, I don't know, so many experiences like that.
Can you share one with us?
Okay. I remember when I came into Lagos and I was pregnant. My husband was on duty. I was going to work. Then I was still working with the bank. And you know, I told you I leave home very early, and someone offered me a ride, a man, and I entered innocently, you know. I thought he saw my condition and then decided to help. Then as we got going, he started, you know, hey, you look pretty, this, that. One thing led to another like that. And I said, sorry, sir, I'm married. He said, yes, that makes it good. I said, but I'm pregnant. So, oh, wonderful. Can you imagine? Wonderful. I was so shocked, you know. And cut long story short, somehow we got to the office. He dropped me at the office. And I got home. Everything that happens in my office, once I get home, you know, I don't usually see him. So when he's around, we talk. I'll tell him everything. Mr. Jemide said this, Mr. Ola said this, Mr. Kinsoya did this, and all that. So that day I got home, I was in the kitchen trying to make dinner, and I was telling him everything that happened. I balanced my book early and all that. He was waiting to hear this part of the story. I didn't know his colleague saw me and told him. Now he replied to the colleague that, oh, okay, I know him, he's my neighbor that dropped him, but he doesn't know, and he was expecting me to tell him. You know, already that had planted a kind of seed in him. So he was, is this lady not going to tell me this one? She tells me everything. Why is she not telling me this one? And then suddenly he asked, how did you get to work today? I said, I wanted you to sit down, let me balance you and gist you. This one at Lagos now, wow. you know, and
So
I
you
just
opened up
laid out
everything.
innocently. I didn't know they had already told him.
Hmm.
So you can imagine if I had not told him how he will feel. He might not say anything, but he will just keep it somewhere, and that's the seed that will start growing.
Yeah.
Trust will be broken. So, but
okay, I'll ask you this last question soon. Our Zoom guest will ask us, like, is it proper or right to discuss infidelity with your partner? For instance, you've gone out there and you've messed up and you feel like you're feeling guilty and you've decided to talk to your partner. Is it proper to discuss infidelity with your partner? I wanted to
she just mentioned something.
Their experience. How was not?
You understand? Yeah, I understand.
Now I'm talking of someone who has been involved, and I'm talking to you because I know you're a pastor and you've had people come to you and ask for counseling. So is it proper? Is it right to discuss it with your partner after the act has been done, whether the man or the woman?
For me, when people come to me with such information, what I do is I ask them what's their relationship with their partners. You have to understand your man. The way he will take it may not be the way mine will take it. For me, I tell him everything. Sweet, bitter, ugly.
An open book.
Yes. So if he wants to condemn me, I'll pack my bag and go. But the guilt
is off
me. So it depends on your partner, and it depends on you if you can stand the outcome of it.
Okay, so we have Pastor Ebenezer Diaolu online from Canada. Hello. Hello, Pastor Ebenezer. How are you? Good morning.
I'm fine. Thank you so much. And you?
Okay, we are good. We're good here in Nigeria. Even though Matan is treating us well. Abijoy.
Good to see you, Pastor Ebenezer. You're looking all good.
So, we've been discussing infidelity in marriages, in relationships. And the last question Joy asked is what I want her to repeat it now. Our guest, our studio guest here, I want her to repeat it so that you can also, trash that before we move on.
So Pastor was asking, is it right to discuss infidelity among your partner? For instance, if you've been involved in the act and then you feel like, okay, let me just do a proper confession to my partner. Is it right? Is it proper to discuss such with your partner?
Yeah, just like the guest answered the other time, a lot of things need to be put in place before such confession could be made. It's good because once you make such confession, it frees your mind. You are no longer under the guilt. You are no longer feeling the bondage of, oh, what if he gets to know? What if he gets to know? Your mind is free. But you have to know that for every action, there are always consequences that will follow. And some couples, I have a case I treated a few years ago. A woman went into infidelity and she had to confess to her husband. The man took it beyond normal. He went as far as fighting the men that had stuff with the wife. And she never saw it coming that way because she just felt, let me free my mind. But later she came to tell me how the husband went around fighting people and then, calling people, putting them in their offices and fighting them and all of that. So if your spouse cannot bear such, if you know that if you confess such thing to him, it will bring more damages, then wisdom demands that you might have to probably maybe use a mediator. There could be someone you could contact who can help you break, the news to him gradually or to her gradually. So you might not have to say it once. And sometimes your spouse might also have something to confess to you. So you take it little by little. As you are confessing little, he's also confessing little, until the two of you will meet at the middle ground. You say, okay, you two did that. Okay, I did. Okay, both of us, let's forgive each other and then let's move on. So there are times when it happens that way. You need to weigh the maturity of your spouse. You need to be sure the environment is conducive for such confession. You need to be sure that everything is right. But once you confess, you are free from the guilt. And you don't need to be afraid of being discovered that you have done such a thing. So a lot needs to be put into place before you make such confession.
A lot needs to be put in place before you can make such confession. Okay, another question we discussed with Pastor Wisdom here. I asked her, what are other traces of infidelity? What are other traces to other things that can actually lead to infidelity?
Okay. Let me say this, that infidelity, number one, is a choice. It looks as if it's a norm, looks as if everyone is doing it. But the truth is, we have people who are disciplined, there are people who are intentional about it, and they are not doing it because it's so costly to maintain. If you are not faithful to your spouse, you have a lot of things to lose. If you think of the risk, you think of the losses that comes with it, you will not want to do it. So it's a choice. Number two is a crime. Number three is a cancer. And that cancer has eaten deep into the fabric of the marriage institution. So people that are listening to us today, we should all stand and be intentional about keeping our marriage vow. It might be difficult, but I tell you it is possible. There are people, I went to minister somewhere one day, and I met a man he had been married with his wife for 55 years. And he stood before the congregation to say he had never had any affair with any other woman apart from his wife for 55 years. And we have a lot of people who are even in a relationship, courtship, dating, and they are double dating and they are cheating on their spouses. So it's a choice. You can decide not to if you don't want to. You can say no to it. A lot of people are standing. You can also be part of those people that are standing. Now,
But
these are some of the traces that
okay. You're about to mention that. Yeah. Go on, sir.
Can you hear me?
Go on, sir.
So these are some of the traces that can lead to it. When there's sex starvation in the home, sometimes a spouse might be denying the other spouse sexual enjoyment, and in a bid to feed your sexual urge, you want to go out to satisfy yourself somewhere else. Though it is not a justifiable reason, but that is one of the traces that lead to infidelity. When there is sexual starvation, when you deny your spouse sex, a lot of women are doing that, a lot of men too are doing that, and sometimes because people could not hold the sexual feelings, they find solace in another person, and life does not have a vacuum. It is either here or there. You can't sit on the fence. So I want to plead with all couples, please satisfy yourself sexually, satisfy your spouse sexually. If you are not doing that, you are defrauding each other. And according to the scripture, according to the Bible, you are a 419. That's what it means. You are a fraudulent person when you deny your spouse sexual enjoyment in marriage. Number two things that can happen, that can lead to infidelity in marriage, is when the marriage is troublesome, it's turbulent. There are a lot of people who are not giving their spouses peace of mind. And if your husband is the type that is gentle, calm, but you are a tigress or tiger at home, giving him headache, you are not giving him peace of mind. And here's a lady in his office who smiles at him and says, "Oh, God, why you? Oh, God, you are looking good. Oh, God, you are looking stressed. What happened? You can tell me anything. Don't just pour your mind to me. Just pour your mind. I'm here for you every time. There's a shoulder here for you to lean on. To lean on that shoulder, and he might not take his head back from that shoulder again. So if there's trouble at home, you might be sending your spouse to the arms of a strange man or to the arms of a strange lady. These are reasons why people go into infidelity. Sometimes it could be hereditary. Yeah, it could be hereditary. Sometimes people see what their parents are doing. That's how my dad cheats. That's how my mom cheats. So who am I not to? You know, I have to look like my mom. I have to look like my dad. It's normal in our family, and people brag about this thing. How could you have just one woman? How could you have just one man? Are you so stupid? Are you so dumb? You need to explore. My dad did, my mom did, and there's nothing that came out of it. So if sometimes it could be family legacy. People cheat because they saw their parents doing it, and that is a challenge to those of us who are parents now. Don't think you can hide it for too long. If you are cheating on your spouse, your children will know. They will catch you one day, and you might be passing a bad influence on them to continue that legacy of cheating on their own spouses too when they get married. So sometimes it could be, and sometimes religion could also be, what sponsors people into doing that. There are religious in the world that believe that it's not a big deal if you want to have more than one wife, you want to have more than, you have concubines and people. The religious laws does not forbid it for some people. You could have as many girlfriends, as many concubines, as many sex partners you want to have. A lot of religions in the world that believe that people are free to do whatever they want to do. And if you belong to such religion, you won't see it as a big deal because nothing restrains you. There's no law against it in your religious belief. You understand? So many things. Sometimes bad influence from your friends, just like the guest said the other time, bad influence. Your friends might tell you, why are you dulling yourself? You got to wake up and do something. How could you sit down with one woman, sit down, you're eating rice in the morning, rice in the afternoon, rice in the evening, and you cheating yourself? Explore. And before you know it, you were once a reserved person, keeping your sexual integrity, you start mingling with your friends, and they start telling you, we can arrange babes for you. We can arrange babes for you. There are babes that their own money is very cheap, and there are some babes that will give you free of charge. And before you know it, bad communication corrupts good manners. They begin to corrupt your mind, and before you know it, you are into what you never planned to do.
Pastor, I will have to ask you this one question while we round up quickly. A partner who is involved deeply involved in an infidelity and wants to get out of it, but doesn't know how to get it. The person has tried on his or her own and doesn't. What ways would you advise the person to go? How do you say, okay, take these steps, do this, just to get out of it? Because there are so many people that want to get out of it. They are tired of the lifestyle.
Yeah,
but because it's something that's so much into them. So how do they get out of this situation?
I've seen people crying and begging God and weeping that I know this thing is wrong and I want to get out of it. And for such people, the day a madman knows that he's mad, is on his way to recovery. So the first step is for you to know that infidelity, cheating on your spouse, is a crime, it's a sin. You are breaking trust. Now, once you have that realization, the first thing you need to do is to cut the tie with your partner, with that person that is an object of your infidelity. Now, if such a person is your secretary and every day you give her a ride, and when you are taking her home, you involve in immoral stuff on the road and all of that, you might have to be bold enough to tell her and say, young lady, see, from today, I'm not going to give you a ride again. You can't say there and die there. That's in my mother's tongue, they will say, you cannot. Once you say it, you have said your mind. She might not like it, but you are removing yourself from that entanglement. You have to cut tie with that person. Let him know that enough. Let her know that we can't go on with this again. It's disturbing my conscience. That's number one. Number two, you might need to confide in someone that you know can be trusted. This is my struggle. How do I go about this? Can you join me in prayers? Can you give me a counsel? Can you be my accountability partner? You understand what I'm saying? Can you hold me accountable? Can you be there So these are things. Then sometimes you might also need to consult professional counselors who deals with, infidelity recovery and all of that. Get a professional counselor to counsel you. There are questions we ask you that will help us to know where the weakness is coming from, because sometimes it's not just about just brushing it on the surface. Sometimes we have to dig deep to be sure what is happening. I have counseled people struggling with infidelity, and at times you have to involve the spouse. You won't let the spouse know that this is what is going on. You just call him or her, then you counsel the two of them. For example, if a woman is denying her husband sex, and maybe that's why the man is going out to sleep around, you call the woman and say, "Oh, what's happening? This," and she could tell you, "My husband is this." And when you counsel the two of them and you are able to resolve it, and they are back to their sexual enjoyment, you will see that you have used one stone to kill two birds. You have dealt with infidelity and you have restored sexual harmony back into that marriage. So sometimes a professional counseling is needed. You understand? It's needed. So the last thing I want to say is, if you want to get out of infidelity, count the cost. Just think about things you are losing. You are losing money. You are losing your conscience. You are bringing problem to your heart. You could contact deadly sicknesses and diseases from that adventures. A lot of things are at stake. Your good name, your reputation that you have built for years, and go down the drain just because of 5 minutes pleasure of sexual immorality. So when you think of so many things, you will have children out of wedlock, and at your old age, your marriage, your family is disintegrated, and you're having problems, for your unborn children and all of that. So when you think of the ways you have to, and when you get involved in infidelity, you will pick race. You will not want. It's not something you want to be associated with. It's not something you should be proud of. You might think you are still young and you are up and doing now. By the time your report card stares at you in your face, you will know you have wasted your strength and energy into doing things that was not meant to be profitable for you. So I believe people can step out of it.
You can step out of it. You can step. Okay, between the rate of 1 to 10, and you both are ministry clergy. You are clergies. Let me ask, with the cases you've handled, I'll ask our Zoom guest first, Pastor Ebenezer. Just give me between 1 and 10, a rate of 1 and 10. Infidelity, how easy does it lead to divorce within the rate of 1 to 10?
I would say maybe like 4. Maybe 4. Yeah, 4. And the reason is because a lot of people they may not really love the spouse again like before. A lot of people would rather stay in their marriage than to get out because of infidelity.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people
we really appreciate your time, because they're about 12 midnight in Canada right now, and you had this little time with us. We really appreciate it. We're not taking it for granted. We pray God will continue to take you to greater heights and more oil on you. Thank you so much, Pastor Ebenezer. Thank you. We're coming back to you. My question before us. Between the age of 1 to 10, how many of this infidelity that you've handled, cases that you've handled, has led to divorce?
Maybe I should say 6. Yes, 6. Because some of those cases are not believers, they are not Christians. So
okay, Joy, final question.
My final question, and I wanted to answer it in less than, let's say, 5 seconds. What would be your advice to those out there struggling with infidelity? Just like I asked, there are so many, and I know ladies have confided in you. They've tried, and sometimes, like you said earlier on, it's not because they want to cheat. They're having issues with finance. Some of them are lacking emotional connection. What would be your advice? What's your final parting word to The people out there, the couple out there.
First of all, I would say it's a personal thing. So you sit down and tell yourself the truth. Why am I really cheating? When you find out the reason why you're doing it makes it easier for you to heal. Because now you know, okay, probably I'm cheating because of finance. Then how do I get this finance when I block the other party? Okay. And then secondly, you open up. Most people will not open up, especially the female. They will not open up. And that is what the enemy uses against you. He keeps telling you, if you open up, they will mock you, they will laugh at you, your husband will get to know, and then you'll be divorced or something. But when you open up, your healing begins from there. It's no longer a secret. So you know that everybody is looking at you, or people are aware, and then you don't want that to continue. So it's easier for you to shut down.
Okay, it's very easy for you to shut down, and then you open up. That's the pattern word from my guest. Open up. Open up. But
find someone to confide in, like the pastor said. Find somebody. There must be somebody. Maybe your relation, your sister, your brother. Open up to that person. This is what I'm going through, and this is the reason why I went into it. But now I want to come out of it. And that person stands as a guide to you, or as a checkmate to you.
Checkmate to you. I want to say a big thank you to Pastor Wisdom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate both
bring
of
you up again, because this topic is so broad.
We want to say a big thank you to all our viewers out there who are watching live on our Galaxy Facebook page, Galaxy Television, and on Instagram at Galaxy T and V, and also on Twitter at Galaxy T and V. So don't forget, we're going to have another episode tomorrow, Thursday 14, and I want to believe that today is going to be a beautiful one for you and I, and we're just starting the day. Just believe and you receive. Don't leave your hands empty, because an empty hand can be found doing all manner of infidelity, whether by tapping other people's money, snatching bags, and every other thing. You can do something positive, because God has destined you for something great. Believe in yourself and you get yourself at the top. A big thank you to everyone in the studio, all our camera crew, and all who are in the engine room. We have the engine room, master control room. We thank you, we appreciate you, and to our big boss, Chief Steve Ojo, and our guys, the HODs, we thank you. My name is Remain Olori. See you tomorrow. Joy.
And of course, tomorrow is Thursday. We will be talking health. Here on Family and Values, we bring all-round education to you. So tomorrow we'll be discussing health. We want you to stay healthy this festive period so that you can have a wonderful Christmas into the new year. Family and Values always have their repeat episodes. You could always go back. If you've missed anyone, go back to our social media platform. You will always see the one you've missed. We accept your questions. Send in your comments, your questions. We would always have the time to answer your questions. What is it that is bothering you? If it's today's topic, send in your questions and we would always answer. From me to you, it's saying bye. Have a great and wonderful Wednesday. Up next is What's Up, the entertainment part. Of course, they are on standby. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.